And let's talk about that Trump-Cruz dynamic, because Trump is denouncing the polls that show Cruz on the rise, but watch what he does, not what he says. And let's watch what he said. Let's listen to what he said on Fox News Sunday.
I don't think he has the right temperament. I don't think he's got the right judgment.
What's wrong with this temperament?
Well, you look at the way he's dealt with the Senate, where he goes in there like a, frankly, like a little bit of a maniac. You're never going to get things done that way.
So he's talking about Senator Ted Cruz there, Peter, and that suggests he feels a little heat from Senator Cruz, because Senator Cruz has not attacked Donald Trump, and Donald Trump says he's only a counterpuncher.
Right. No, I mean, Kim was exactly right. Slipstream is a great way of putting the way Cruz has approached Trump so far. He's always said, even if you disagree with him, Donald is great. I don't have the same policy on this, but he's great. There was a leaked private comment in which he said he didn't think Trump had the right judgment. Trump is obviously kind of fighting back in that sense, but it's really the polls, and Trump goes after whoever he sees as a threat, and he now sees Ted Cruz as a threat. It's a little funny to hear Donald Trump suggest that another candidate might have problems with temperament and judgment going into the talk with the Senate, but we've seen all along he'll say what he needs to say.
Kim, do you think that Ted Cruz has a patient strategy he's been playing out here? Is this his moment to grab that? Is he? Give us your sense of the Cruz.
He's doing very well. I also think he's got a couple of liabilities, which you saw this week. The fact that he felt compelled to give a national security and foreign policy speech. This goes to one of his clever strategies was way back he was going to get all those Rand Paul voters. There are fewer of them in the Republican electorate post-Paris and post-San Bernardino, and yet he is out there on questions of metadata and a little bit more restrained in terms of his foreign policy. There's a lot of Republican voters who want a very muscular foreign policy leader, and he felt compelled that he had to go in and kind of shore himself up on that in terms of a speech this week. You're going to see in this debate this week, I think a lot of Republicans who are eager to hit him on that. Chris Christie, Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, and it'll be interesting to see how he does.
Does Marco Rubio, Jamelle, have to do something now? The conversation is now Cruz and Trump. A debate coming up. Marco Rubio has had good debates. He's tried to make something of this NSA vote, or what he sees as Ted Cruz's lack of support for the metadata analysis by the NSA. What's your sense of Marco Rubio?
I think Rubio should just continue doing what he's doing, right? He has a steady increase in the poll. He's been going up slowly, not as rapidly as Cruz in places like Iowa, but there's been a steady increase. He has given great debate performances. He seems to be on everyone's good side in the Republican Party. And so if I were Rubio, I don't think there's any more that you can do at this point other than watch to see what happens with the other candidates. And at a certain point, if Rubio can't get over a hump, it may have nothing to do with Rubio and everything to do with the structure of the Republican primary right now. I will say that there is concern that Rubio is not running as good of a ground game as he could be running. Comments made by Republican officials in Iowa and New Hampshire suggest that Rubio is not spending much time there, and comments from the Rubio campaign suggest that he doesn't think he needs to spend that much time there. And so that to me, if there's anything concerning about Rubio's bid, that to me is it. That I think. I feel like I'm a bit old-fashioned in this regard. I think that in order to win these states, you really do have to invest time and energy in people there, and the Rubio campaign seems to differ.